Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're gonna be reacting to
K-pop news. ILLIT performance disrupted after a fan mentions new jeans.
A student at Sogang University has sparked major backlash after publicly mentioning the K-pop group New Jeans during a festival performance by ILLIT. Here's what happened. ILLIT was scheduled to perform at the school's festival, but before they took the stage, the MC was engaging with the crowd. They asked if anyone had something to celebrate, a birthday, a big life event, or anything fun. That's when one fan suddenly shouted, "New Jeans Heron's birthday." The crowd went silent, and then some people started booing. The MC paused and said, "It seems like there's some booing and criticism going on." Then they tried to move on quickly, asking the audience again if anyone had something more relevant to share. After the event, students took to the school's online forums. Many were upset. They called the fan a disgrace to the school and a nuisance to the performers. Some even questioned whether ILLIT themselves heard the comment. Now, why is this such a big deal? It's important to understand the context. There's been ongoing tension between fans of New Jeans and ILLIT, especially after internal
That's just a person seeking attention.
So what's your take? I'll let you go first
My take on what?
on this.
The person yelling ILLIT's birthday? No, New Jeans'
Yeah.
birthday. There's always someone in the crowd, someone in anything that's always trying to look for attention. Don't give it to them. Period.
I don't know. For me, just such a non-issue that
Don't make it about them.
people are entitled to scream what they want, and I'm pretty sure they have heard worse. So it's
I don't know.
we saw
It's just
Aespa. Remember when there was Aespa dating rumors, and she went to China or
Mhm.
something like that, and in China, the fans were like yelling at her, cursing her out. That's rude. There's somebody screaming, "Oh, it's New Jeans' her birthday." Okay, cool.
But why would the MC like ask these questions in the first place?
Well, they weren't expecting somebody to say
Oh.
it. And even, if they said that, it doesn't, why is that bad? It wasn't rude, it wasn't offensive. They said they like New Jeans. They wish it was New Jeans on stage. New Jeans couldn't go for
They
other
said
reasons.
that. Was that what they said?
No, they
It's
didn't
just,
say that. I'm
it's just
saying
the
that.
birthday.
Yeah,
Oh.
but they went to see the next best thing, which is ILLIT. I mean, it's really a non-issue. Like, we gotta stop being so sensitive. What else you got?
Hey everyone, welcome
Aespa Dragged for vocals at Sogang University. Here's the real tea. What's the tea?
back. Today's hot tea is bubbling, and this time, it's not about New Jeans. The spotlight is now on Aespa and their live performance at Sogang University, which is catching some heat on Twitter. Not for their looks, not for their stage outfits, but for their vocals during the song Too Spicy. Let's be real, the vocals in that short viral clip, not their best. But let's also not act like it was some career-ending disaster.
There is better.
Some of the reactions on Twitter, over the top, like calm down. Your phone speakers aren't exactly concert hall quality, okay. From fan cams, we see Winter clearly struggling with her in-ear monitors, adjusting and even taking them out. That's a red flag right there. Poor in-ear audio can throw off any live performer, especially in loud venues, where timing and pitch depend on what you hear. Now let's get into the fan wars. Some Twitter users,
I don't know. What we've seen from Aespa, they don't sing live, but when they do, they perform well. I don't recall seeing Aespa singing bad live. So
I don't think it was the singing that they were needed to be talked about. I think it's more their movements, their outfits was a little bit.
well, so this outfit, I remember we reacted last year to these university performances. I think they wear the university colors. There's one blue, so you see everybody wearing blue. I think it's that type of.
Yeah, they look like students.
Yeah, to fit the vibe. So the outfits, the energy on stage, I have noticed Espa's energy on stage not being where it needs to be. That is an issue in the perform lately. The whole excuse, oh, they're overworked, maybe, but that we can't, that's a fact. So whether they're overworked or not, we can debate that. But if they are overworked, that's still not an excuse to have low energy. Like, I mean, then don't get on the stage. Uh, Now the vocals, as I said, I just don't recall them having bad vocals like that.
Me either.
So
It was more for me the energy.
Yeah, so to go based on one clip, I think it's
Yeah.
unfair.
Yeah.
Plus, I do ask them to sing live, so I can't.
This is what you
Uh,
get when you get
yeah,
asked for live.
at least it's
So
live.
it's
So yeah,
genuine.
let's not be hypocrites.
maybe frustrated, maybe just messy, are tweeting things like, "Mice need to stop acting like their idols can sing. Stop sticking your nose into other groups' business." Okay, let's pause. Here's the truth. You can be a fan of multiple groups. K-pop isn't a cult, it's music. You don't need to pick one group
The fan bases are cult-like.
and fight for them like it's the Hunger Games. That said, let's also call out some toxic behavior from every corner. Some fans talk down on other idols just to make their faves look better. But here's the catch.
True.
It doesn't work. It just makes your fandom look bitter and unnecessarily competitive. As expected, many MIs came to Aespa's defense, pointing out that the stage was at the end of an 18-minute performance. It was hot, and the choreography was intense. SM has a rep for combining powerful vocals with grueling dance routines. Of course, there'll be heavy
18
breathing or a
minutes.
shaky
So
note.
if they
That's-
want, we're going to do an hour and 20 minutes. What you gonna say? That's not exactly just.
Yeah,
It's not. Cut the cap. Cut
yeah,
it.
18 minutes is not that long. We saw Hype and XG do a 45-minute set at Coachella, so 18 minutes is cute.
Real live singing. Not every stage is going to sound like a pre-recorded MR. Now, a little
Yeah, but that's what I said. We want them to sing live, so I'd rather take their live vocals with mistakes than hear the backtrack.
But it's not good when you hear feedback. Oh, but it was 18 minutes. Then you're not wanting them to
Just-
do a full tour, a full
Yeah.
concert, a full like a festival. Yeah, that's what you're saying.
Yeah, I think we just not we, but the fans need to stop with the excuses. Like, stop excusing the bullshit. Just accept it was bad, okay? Criticize them so they can improve. Criticism is good. That's how you improve. There's a hate. There's a difference between hate and criticism. I'm not saying hate them. I'm saying criticize them. If they do something bad, call that out. Hate is when you just everything is bad. That's hate. When they do something bad that basically the consensus can agree, that maybe not the consensus, but the non-fans can agree that, because fans they just don't see it, they have the glasses, but non-fans can say, it wasn't good, so you point that out, criticize them so they can get better. That's why we criticize, so people improve.
constructive note. And I say this with love. The too spicy dance break looked a bit off this time. Not bad dances at all. But that part was hard to watch. Could be fatigue, heat, or maybe they weren't fully synced. It happens. This isn't a scandal. It's a reminder that idols are human, and live performances are unpredictable. Instead of nitpicking a 5-second clip, how about appreciating the whole performance? Hopefully this drama doesn't blow up, and we can all
But I've been saying since November, I think, that Aespa needs to go on a break. They still here performing. I honestly feels like they're the only cash cow at SM at this point, because
So, whose
they're
stage just got
they're, they're overworking them for sure. They need to go on a but they're not looking good performing. They're either not singing live, their energy is not there. I don't know. I'd rather they go on a hiatus for a good 3 months or so. Kiss of Life kicked out of KCON. Actions have consequences. Well, there you go.
So, whose stage just got cancelled? Yeah, that's right. Kiss of Life. KCON LA 2025 will go on without them, following major backlash from that now infamous live stream. And before some of y'all jump into the comments saying, "Oh, people are overreacting," or "Black fans aren't even a big part of the fandom," let me say this loud and clear.
What does that have to do with anything?
Ooh.
What? What does that have to do with anything?
It's not just about numbers. It's about respect. When one community is
That's
disrespected,
crazy.
others will not sit quietly. Solidarity
That's
exists,
wild,
and this
man.
cancellation proves that. Let me read the official statement from KCON and S2 Entertainment. It's Dear KCONers, thank you for your continued interest and support for KCON LA 2025. Regrettably, after careful consideration and thorough discussions, exploring all avenues for participation, KCON and S2 Entertainment have mutually decided that Kiss of Life will no longer be participating in KCON LA 2025. We sincerely
Who's the mutual?
Their label.
Their label?
Yeah.
apologize to the fans who are looking forward to their performance.
It's just basically polite way of saying we kicked them, but the label want to save face, so we say that it was an agreement.
And we kindly ask for your understanding. We will do our best to bring you even more special and memorable experiences in the months ahead. Sincerely, the KCON team. Let's be honest here. This outcome was obvious from the start. That livestream wasn't even a month ago, and they tried to move on like nothing happened. But accountability doesn't disappear with time, especially when you don't address the issue head on. And what's more, their fandom isn't large enough to cushion this kind of fallout. That's just reality. So for those still saying things like, well, Blackpink did say N-word, or so-and-so said worse, let me stop you right there. Pointing fingers doesn't erase what your fave did. And I am not saying what they did is right, but we're not playing the oppression Olympics here. If Julie said the N-word, and we know she did, and then turned around and did that live stream on her birthday, that's a double blow. And now the comment sections are celebrating their cancellation. And let me tell you, I've never seen fans celebrating the fact that someone's stage got pulled. That should tell you everything. This is what happens when companies and idols think they can sidestep real accountability. It catches up to you. And for those predicting their next comeback will flop, you might not be wrong. They needed every ounce of support they had.
I mean, didn't it flop? They dropped something, so it flopped. So there's no prediction. It did flop.
And they just alienated a huge part of it. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Was this the right move? Or too little?
Yeah, I think it was the right move. Good for KCON to doing it right. Would have been better if they never were included, but maybe being including and getting kicked sends a bigger message than not even being included. Because not being included, just say, oh, you know, just somebody else. Now getting kicked, that sends a statement.
Yeah.
So maybe actually it is good on KCON that, you know, showing that.
But will they look like, I don't know if Blackpink would ever go to host anything with KCON, but
They're too big.
would they probably, yeah, they probably are. But it would be hypocritical if they were to work something in the future together.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord. Share as much kindness as possible.